What's going on, Jay? You found me. I beat you to hit that like, though. What up, man? What up, man? Man, I was gonna try to go live with TikTok as well, but I gave up, man. I have another camera that I use, because I always have two cameras with me when well, not anymore, but when I used to go take photos and make video, I always carry two cameras with me with my lens, etc. And so I only use this one right here, and then I have another one up there, actually up there. But I couldn't connect it wirelessly, and oh my gosh, I just wasted a whole hour, bro, trying to get these cameras done. Trinity has been with me waiting to come on live. Let's go, Gulf of Mexico. I didn't even get to make my nice hot cup of coffee. I got this old coffee from earlier. We're going to save it in here. We're going to stick it inside the computer for now. I think it's still good. Man, sorry guys. I was trying to hook it up and trying to play with all my stuff. This is why I can't wait to actually have a bigger space. I know you don't need that much space to do lives and stuff, but I'm very picky with stuff, and I just thank you guys for the support because I know what I want, and so far I'm not really getting it. Oh yeah. Man, nothing like a cup of Joe. Jay says Dennis fit for government of Washington. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I doubt myself so much. Being just a regular Joe, it's easy to doubt yourself. But the one thing that I have, it's as I was mentioning it to Trinity. Oh, and by the way, Trinity, I don't know if you noticed this, but Liberty for All dropped a chat the other day, and he said to go ahead and put creamer in my coffee and to not worry about what you think. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was awesome. He's really been active, and he's so like he's cordial, like he has his opinion, and he gives it out, but he also tries to make sense of things, and this is what I like. I like to try to make sense of things. So he every time he does like some chats, he's most likely to be the super chat guy. You know what I mean? And he's Salvadorian American, so that's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna tell you, Trinity. Sometimes my hair bothers me, and I think that it might be a curse because I'm losing my hair, and it's probably because I keep complaining about how uncomfortable it is to have long hair. All right, let's start saying some hellos in here. Jay, my man, Cool Cat Renee, my sister Trinity, Prime Minister is in here. The first word is Asial. Oh man, you got played by a felon, he says. Um, uh, bro, Prime Minister came hot in here today. Damn man, let me say goodbye to my peeps. Mark 82, welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome. Let's see what we got here. Chris Dennis hasn't even said anything. I know, right? This guy, man, Mr. Chris. Watsy, the only good version of DJT is the one where he is held underwater till bubbles stop. You guys been watching too many movies, man. Horrible. You guys are horrible. Brian in the house. Abraham Vasquez, Gulf of Mexico. Hey, Brian, are you here in the United States? No, real question. Real question. This is for shits and giggles. Oh, I have an addiction, guys. I know I'm weak. I'm addicted to coffee, man. All right, so welcome to all my patriots and my beautiful members that help me out every single month. I appreciate you. I know it's not easy. I know you guys support other patrons, other patriots as well. So I appreciate you being here with me tonight. Thank you so much for that, guys. Abraham Vasquez, if you are here in the United States, what I want you to do is Google Gulf of Mexico and tell me on the map what it says. Salud, my friend. Salud, salud. Man, that is some good coffee. That was right on the spot. But I don't even think the coffee is good. I just think that I wanted coffee so bad, nice and hot, that now that I'm tasting it, it's just voila. Voila. Hey, from Colorado says Carrie Garland. I think I've seen Carrie Garland here before. So welcome back. Let's see. Dennis can't stay hard when she's on top. See the solution that actually works. Guys, I don't know. I bought some testosterone booster not too long ago, and now I get these messages telling me that I can't stay hard. True story. I probably just demonetized my channel with that right there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm telling you. Hey, Rob Desmore, Gulf of Mexico. Let's go. I'll take either version, guys. Gulf of America makes more sense to me because Mexico is part of America. It is a continent. And let's not forget that Gulf of Mexico was not Gulf of Mexico before. It was taken away from their native Aztecs, which actually had a name for that piece of water. And then they changed it to a Mexican name, saying Gulf of Mexico. So don't get mad when we now say Gulf of America. As a matter of fact, today, my patrons, you're going to suffer because I am going to watch with you some CNN. I know you guys are excited about the CNN thing. Here we go. We're going to be... oh, hey, what do you guys think about the background right now? I know you guys have seen the eagle before, right? But with this camera, it should look a little bit different. I will have, just so you guys know, I should be doing these lives with just members because I mean, only you guys care about what I have to say about decoring or whatever. But I have a backdrop with a brick backdrop, and then I'm going to wait till next month when I get paid, and I'm going to buy the American flag with the stand. It is about, I think I found some very cheap, or kind of cheap. Thank you, Brian. There is a set of two, and it comes with a stand. They're the cheap ones, but I mean I can make it work. It's like it's not like real brass, I guess, on the base, but the flags look nice. So either I get the two setups for 102, or I get one real flag for $179. I think it is. So we'll see. I really want to change the background. I don't do it just for you guys to watch. I like it for myself to see. Just kind of like President Trump. He loves the White House, but he wants to make it look better and prettier than ever before. Berniel, welcome to the house of pain, because the truth is painful for a lot of our leftist patriots. Man, I don't know if you guys want to stick around. It's not real brass. It's made of Chinesium. It probably is. Now, the only thing I don't like, I don't want it, is because You can fill it up with sand, or you can fill it up with water. Water, I don't trust it. I don't want to be spilling water here after some time. So who knows? Maybe I'll take the two, and then I'll just use the sand to make the base stand up. I mean, it's just just a small space in here behind me, so I think it should work. We'll see. It's only going to be like if I get the set, it's going to be like 120 with taxes, which is going to be 2 American flags. Oh, it's going to look beautiful. The only bad thing is that, you know what? Maybe there is going to be no bad thing. I think the worst thing that's going to happen is that my face is going to be a lot smaller, because I'll be able to put the whole side in here into the picture, and maybe that's better for you guys, so you don't have to see my ugly face on here. Boneless Chicken is already upset that we are about to watch some CNN live. Oh, it's not live. I just found a video from them. But thank you, Brian. You're awesome, man. Carrie Garland says, love it. I appreciate you. See, you guys, now you guys are just making me feel too special here. I appreciate you guys. All right, if you guys don't have the stomach for it, you may be excused. But today, we are going to give our leftist people something to talk shit about President Donald Trump and all of us. I want you to watch it till the end, because the end of it is just so beautiful. All right? Stick with me, guys. Let me get this set up here really quick. I know, right? You would think that I was already set up. But the truth is, my friends, I was trying to do a new setup on here, and I screwed it up. That's what happened. I screwed it up. Okay, let's see. Let's get this baby all fit right in there. Yeah. I like that right there. There we go. We don't need to make them too big. I mean, they're not that special. We'll put it right there. I think that would be good. All right, guys. Well, let's take a listen, and let's have some fun with this video, shall we? Again, my right-wing friends and conservatives and maybe Republicans, independents, I apologize. Viewer discretion is advised. Here we go. Actually, let me make sure that I am logged in so I can chat with you guys through all of this. Oh, there's only, I apologize. There's only 76 people watching, so it shouldn't be too painful. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, I'm good here. All right, here we go, guys.
As it has struck 4 more alleged drug smuggling boats in the eastern Pacific Ocean, killing 14 people on board, with 1 survivor. We have CNN anchor and chief national security analyst Jim Sciutto with us now. Jim, what do we know about these strikes?
Well, listen, I mean, these are now familiar videos, right? We see these almost every day. The airborne video of the strike as you hit these alleged narco-terrorist boats, that's the term you hear from the administration. In this case, this is taking place on the Pacific side, right? And they began on the Atlantic side, in the Caribbean, et cetera, closer to the Venezuelan coast. And the administration in recent days and weeks has now expanded where they're striking here. There are the obvious legal questions. The administration says intelligence indicates that these are drug smuggling boats. Is there any legal process to doing this? Is there any recourse for those involved in this, especially now that you have survivors, right, of some of these strikes? Those are open questions, but what is certainly true is they're becoming more frequent, and they're taking place on a broader geographical kind of swath in Latin America. And, you know, the question is if they broaden even further.
And they're expanding, the U.S. military, expanding its presence in the Caribbean.
This is a big deal. So they have the USS Gravely, which is a guided missile destroyer, now in Trinidad and Tobago, quite close to Venezuela. You have a U.S. aircraft carrier on its way now from the Mediterranean, the USS Gerald Ford, which happens to be the newest and most capable U.S. aircraft carrier in the world. And you also have more land forces in and around the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, et cetera. What I'm told by folks briefed on the intelligence is that at a minimum, they're giving the president a wide range of options here, right? And you could look at that just based on the kinds of hardware you have in the region right now. There's also a special forces support ship that has shown up in the Caribbean. Doesn't mean he's taken that step. Doesn't mean he's going to use all of those options, but at least the forces that are now in the region gives the president enormous options here. Interesting, CSIS, the think tank, has said that the arrival of an aircraft carrier is one marker they've used to predict at least the possibility of an invasion. Again, doesn't mean an invasion's happening or that the president will ever order one, but you have such an array of resources there now that the president's list of options is growing.
They're saying you couldn't do one probably without the carrier, right?
Exactly.
So it sort of it opens up that possibility. And in the middle of all this, you have a Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, talking about mercenaries.
He says he's now claiming they've made a series of arrests of what could be a group of mercenaries trained and financed by the CIA. We don't know what he's basing this on. He's an authoritarian leader. He picks up people all the time. But what's key about this is that President Trump and other administration officials have said quite publicly that the U.S. has CIA operatives on the ground, and CNN has reported this as well. So they're nervous there, right? And I'm sure they're looking for these teams and anybody tied to these teams. And probably this is part of a fear operation by the Maduro regime to strike fear in the minds of anybody who might come into contact with them or might think about working with them, right? Because there is some hope here that by carrying out these operations, both military and otherwise, that the U.S. can weaken the Maduro regime, who they accuse of being part of the drug trafficking operations.
Yeah, questions about whether some of what's going on could be about regime change, right?
Exactly.
Out there. Jim Sciutto, thank you so much for taking us through all of
Thanks
that.
so
Really
much.
appreciate it.
The U.S. military says it struck 4 more boats in the Pacific Ocean, killing 14 people. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth claims the boats were involved in drug trafficking, but like the many other cases, provided no evidence. CNN's Zachary Cohen joins me now live from our newsroom. What are you hearing from your sources, Zach?
Yeah, Dana, this is the first time that we know of where the U.S. military has conducted multiple military strikes in the same day. 3 strikes against 4 boats on Monday. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says 14, quote, narco-terrorists were killed in the strikes. But as you mentioned again, providing no real evidence to justify that label. There was also 1 survivor, according to Hegseth. We've seen this happen recently. As recently as last week, there were additional strikes in this same region in the eastern Pacific Ocean where there were, again, survivors of these strikes that were first detained by the U.S. Navy and then repatriated back to their home countries of Ecuador and Colombia. In this case, though, the status of the survivor really remains unclear. The Pentagon saying that Mexican authorities have the responsibility and are taking the lead on the search and rescue for this survivor. The Mexican authorities, the Mexican president has acknowledged awareness of a military operation in international waters and an alleged survivor, but so far no indication that this person is in their custody. So this will continue to be something that we'll watch as the legal authority for these U.S. military strikes continues to come under question by both lawmakers on the Democratic and Republican sides of the aisle.
Right.
We know Rand Paul, a Republican, has really repeatedly questioned the Trump administration's legal authority here, and the growing number of survivors from these strikes also raises additional questions.
Yeah, no question. Thank you so much, Zach. Appreciate it. And Elena Treen joins us here at the table. Yes, we've heard many, many times Pete Hegseth and other members of the Trump administration say that they have legal authority because it is a, quote, war, a drug war. But the fact that this continues, and as Zach said, this is one of the few issues that Republicans are raising their hands, not just Rand Paul, but others as well, saying, wait a second, show us the evidence. This is a very big deal.
No, that's exactly right. And it actually was surprising to me, to be honest, that we're starting to hear from more and more Republicans. It actually took them a long time to get to this point. But now it's very clear that they want more information, particularly as we know that this is only escalating further. They're moving, an airstrike carrier, an aircraft strike a carrier that would carry, the type of planes that they would need to potentially take the further step of striking on land. We reported last week that there are plans on the table that the president is considering about striking what they refer to as cocaine facilities and other places, drug routes inside Venezuela. And that's what I told will be the biggest turning point, is when they move away from these strikes in international waters and potentially toward those land targets. Because a lot of people, and one of the concerns I'm hearing from a lot of Republicans, is that they do believe so much of this is about regime change in Venezuela. It's not about really just stopping the flow of drugs into the United States. And that's the issue that has a lot of people, of course, concerned about this, let alone, of course, the implications of the Constitution.
Little thing like the Constitution. But on that note, it will be interesting to see what happens if there is indeed a survivor of one of these latest strikes. Because one of the many other ones, there were 2 survivors, and they repatriated them. If they're so dangerous, one of the questions that we're even hearing from these Republican lawmakers is, why not try them or find a way to figure out information from them? Because what they wanted with these strikes was to kill them in the middle of the ocean.
I think there's been very little transparency about what is actually going on. We were talking earlier in today's show about what I would say some Democrats call kind of the war within, which is the immigration crackdown. And I don't think it is in any ways separate. It is very much linked to what we see with this war outside happening in the Caribbean and now in the Pacific. And I think that is what is so interesting. We keep hearing about this happening in the Trump administration's words, because these are narco-terrorists, these are, in their view, dangerous criminals, and that is the pretext for this all, but he hasn't really provided a whole lot of evidence to that sort. And I think one of the big questions that we've had, in fact, we just did this actually as an episode on our BBC show, is looking at what is the underlying concern with Venezuela. Venezuela is not a major market for producing fentanyl. That is, in fact, largely coming up from China and Mexico. So if it's really going after Venezuela, then what's it about? Because it's not that they're the major producer of fentanyl.
I think she hit the nail on the head, regime change.
She hit the nail on the head. My patrons, I'm glad that you guys actually stayed on, because you know that I wouldn't play that unless it was juicy. Now, what did you guys notice on this video? Honestly, I want your opinion. I'll give you some of the things that I saw. But what did you notice in this video? What was the title of it? You probably didn't even freaking pay attention. I told you to pay attention to the damn video and stop chatting. All right. So they kept saying that that we have destroyed alleged drug carrying boats. Okay. Number one, allegedly. And we have intel, CIA. Well, I mean, I don't, we can't trust the CIA. I'm sorry. They lost all credibility with me, but that's just me. Now, they say allegedly, right? And what is the thing that CNN has been saying against President Donald Trump when he said that he was going to go into Mexico because of these, of the drug from the cartel with this fentanyl and everything is coming through Mexico? What did CNN say about that? Do you guys remember? Can you guys have a little quick guess of what CNN actually said? Taken. Google Gulf of Mexico and tell me where it takes you. Man, this is bringing a lot of controversial. What's going on? Come on, guys. Holy shit, I just lost 37 people on that question. Woo, let's go. All right, guys, for all of you who are mods in here are the rules if you are a mod for this channel. I went and found like you guys had like almost 100 people blocked, banned from the channel. Here are some rules for you mods, you crazy banners. If somebody comes in here and starts doing death threats, you may take a screenshot of it, as Trinity does, and we can report them to the FBI. Okay, I'll do that. It takes a little while, but I can do that. The other one is if somebody's being obnoxious, using racist comments, etc., don't ban them, but do put them in timeout for probably 30 minutes. That should be long enough for them to either leave or actually think about what they did wrong. And then the other thing is just a lot of hateful comments. If they're insulting me You guys are fine. Let them insult me, okay? But don't be blocking people because it does help the algorithm, and I want these people to come in here and learn something, okay? The other thing that you guys can do to support me, and I have seen some people do it, is sometimes people send me hearts, hundreds, right, through the live interactive little emoji. I don't know, what do you call those things? You know what I'm talking about. I just see like this. I can do it on my phone as well. You will see it on there eventually. So that helps me. I don't care about a lot of the things that they say when it comes to bad things against me. It's okay. If I talk with them in person, we will probably have the same conversation. We'll probably argue about it. I don't like to get too upset with people when I'm talking with them about something. We can be passionate and everything, but let me give you an example of what I don't want. Have you guys heard about a new podcast show called Her View? If you guys haven't, it is freaking annoying. Oh my God, these ladies. It reminds me of why a lot of men get divorced. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, but oh my gosh. It's like I can understand if we're having a disagreement, yeah? I can understand, hey, well, you said that this was that, and that I can get loud. I can see that. But these ladies, oh my gosh, it is so annoying. I can't sit there. I don't know what the hell they're saying. They're yelling their heads off, and they're like borderline racist against each other's comments, and I just I don't know. I don't get it. I don't see what the problem is. It's just very, very horrible. What's going on, man? Bad sound? Let me see. No, it sounds good over here, but they really sound horrible, and that's probably what you're talking about. The only reason why they're kind of picking up a little bit of momentum is because I believe that's PBD's wife. If you guys don't know who PBD is, I don't watch them all the time, but I do watch them when I can. They got some good information on there, and they try to be neutral. I think sometimes they're just like us, right? We try to be neutral, but it seems like we're just one-sided. But why is that? Why doesn't people ask us why we're not supporting the other side at all? That's what people don't ask. They don't ask that question. They always think that we're just bunching up on the right and we're just hating the left. We don't hate the left. The people that come in here and start insulting, well, they get that right back because that's the vibes they give. That's the vibes they get. Whenever I give an insult to somebody, like if I say, oh, it's freaking libtards, all of a sudden it's like, boom, all these people are mad at me. Like, whoa, are you a libtard? My bad. I didn't know the shoe fit. You know what I mean? So, to each his own, okay? Let me see what Adam says. Changing the name of a body of water doesn't help American people or make it a better place. It just doesn't. We're not changing the body of water. We are changing the Gulf of America. I'm going to tell you something. If you want to name it in Spanish, the Gulf of Mexico, the meaning is the armpit of Mexico. I don't like it. I'd rather call it the Gulf of America. That's a nice armpit right there. But true, that's what it means. It means armpit. Seno. That's what that means. Let's see. Love PBD. Yes, me too. I think he's a great guy. I am older than him. Can you believe that? I am older than that guy. The difference between me and him, it really is just a couple of $1 billion. It's not big difference. It's not much. Oh man, that guy's a billionaire. I can't believe it. Very smart, very entrepreneur and got businesses. I have heard some bad things about his business, but you know what? There's always going to be people hating somebody else for making a good living. And I'm not going to jump into what the hell he's doing, but that's his business. Maybe eventually I'll do a business, but not something like that because I'm not that huge on that. but it works. I know a lot of people that are into the insurance business. They have been entrepreneurs. They have gone on their way, and people don't go make investments and try to become rich so that the socialists can take all the money away from them. People want to go and make a lot of money so they can retire, so they can enjoy their grandkids when they're older, so that you can, have the next generation taken care of. Every American should be fighting for that. So I don't hate the rich. I want the rich to get richer. I want these billionaires to keep giving jobs to a lot of people. I mean, just Trump by himself has over 22,000 employees. I want to know how many of these libtards in here that hate us, hi Phoenix, that hate us actually have thousands of employees themselves. I will probably listen to them a little bit better. Everybody talks about Trump, 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 money, 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 rich, rich, rich. And every time that there's Democrats or there's libtards talk about that, they never mention Soros. Never. Never, ever, 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 ever. They never mention him. They don't have a problem with Soros paying protesters to go lie and tell people lies, which right there in itself, it should be some sort of treasonous activity. That's just my opinion. People that come in here and tell me that I am lying, prove it. Prove that I'm lying. I'm here for you. Scott says, ew, what's the illegal doing wearing that hat? Supporting Americans, moron. What do you think I'm doing with it? Supporting America. Number one, America first. I don't give a shit what country a migrant comes from. If you come to this country, there is only one reason why we would want you to ever be here. And if you didn't get an invitation, you're not welcome here. The one and only reason you would be allowed to come here as a migrant to the United States of America is so that you can help this country become better, not a third world shithole from where you come from. Now, why would I call it that? Because if you left that country to be here, that means that country is a piece of shit for you. Am I clear? Let's call it like it is. Don't be a moron. Don't come over here insulting a migrant that respects America and wants to fight to defend it. Okay? Don't come in here doing those insults because it's going to come right back at you. The worst thing you can do is tell a black man that they are racist. That's exactly what you guys do. The worst thing you can tell a black man is, yeah, you're not black if you don't vote for me. That's the worst thing you can do, but you guys do it because you're morons. You think that if somebody doesn't do what you say or agree with what you say, they are garbage or less than you. That's not what we're saying when we're talking about libtards. Yeah, they're dumb. They're making some wrong decisions. Why? Because we got facts to say that what we're doing is actually working for the better of the American people. Now, the reason why it doesn't work faster is because we got almost half of this country that did not want Trump to win, and there being obstacles. We're wasting money on court for over 20 million illegal immigrants. Why are we forking up money from our economy to give due process to illegal immigrants? I don't give a shit if they're here with a permit that expired last month. If they're illegal, they gotta go. You need to make sure that the American economy stays strong so that we can help other countries. Not only that, but so that we can help ourselves in this country. We're going to get to your favorite part of tonight. We're going to hear from Dalabama and the crazy witch from the east with the purple hair, the one that was convincing our union workers over here and the people from the union to stick it to the orange man. They're the same people. They're making money, and then the Washingtonians are paying the price for it. And these are the same ones that don't want rich people to succeed. Yeah, so any other comments about migrants defending the United States of America? Because I'm going to eat you alive. Oh, man, I got a lot of love to give you. A lot of weapons to be given to hand out. Let's see. Let's see. Luis. Oh, man. Let me see what Luis is going to say. This guy's always negative. This is a guy who wants women to shut up, like Trump. No rights for women. All right. I thought I read it. I thought I'd read it for him, okay? Just trying to be nice. Brian says hello to Phoenix. Phoenix in the house. Hello. Welcome, Phoenix. All right. We're going to skip all the way down. Thank you, Jajan Hammer, for sent 100 for 2 joules. I don't know what that is, guys. But if you want to support, you can go ahead and hit that heart and that 100% on the live interaction on the chat. I'll appreciate that. What happened to the hippies? Oh, they're out there, bro. They are all become part of the leftist movement. They're all out there, bro. They went from being hippies to now being gay and confused. They still wear the same colors, though, and they have the same sign. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give some feed to our beautiful Democrat people that might be joining us and coming through here. I apologize in advance. I spent a lot of time and then I changed my mind. I put a bunch of stuff on this video that I'm about to play for you. And I don't know. I just, I just felt bad. I didn't want to make it to where I'm just like hating too much on these people. So we're going to let the video play as they showed it. And let me see what else we have in here. Come down, Maxi Pad MAGA. Oh, look at Single Obama. Single Obama. You trying to make fun of me, bro. He went from Tampon Tim to Maxi Pad MAGA. I don't know, brother. I don't know. That doesn't work. You gotta Maxi MAGA. You know what I'm saying? Patty MAGA, something like that. I don't know. You got to keep working on it, but very close, very close. All right, Electric says, man, we all need to realize they don't care about us. One bit, not one bit, neither side. And as long as people stay divided, they will use us all of us. Electric, that was very electrifying. Good for you, brother. Tina, it's Tina. Well, welcome, Tina. Oh, Luis. I'm going to read one more from Luis. I waiting, Dennis too scared to confront me, Trump boy. That's the way he wrote it. That's the way I read it. I'm just saying. Hey, Luis, you want to give me a call before we play this video? Let's go, Luis. Let me see what you got. It has to be about immigration. 425-583-1155. Hit me up. Let's go. Hit me up. There you go, buddy. Come on. Hit me up. Go for it. Hey, Alex. Welcome to the chat. Jose Aquiles Molinaro says, yes, explain it to the common person who we can make sense of this. Your poor family tired of your yapping, yappity, yap, yap, yap. Never saw that, Alex, says Brian. Quiet down, Demon Michael, says Cheryl. Trying to put you in your place, sucker. All right, here we go. Trinity. Oh, somebody misbehaving in here, huh? Michael Thompson. Here we go. We got some Trentifia. Yeah, it's Trentifia in the house. Little maggot coward. These people. Man, I pray for all of you guys, man. Every day I pray for all of you guys. Let me see. Put your questions or comments in the super chat, you bastards. Oh, wait, no, he didn't say that part. In the super chat, and the host will get to it sooner. Thank you, man. You know how it's done. See, all these people with the green and the blues, they already support me, so I don't demand stuff from them. They already come out for me. And they don't demand, by the way, that I answer questions from them. Oh, man, I got this on the wrong channel. All right, let's see what kind of libtard we have here calling. I'm just kidding. I know who this is. Who's calling and what's popping?
Hey, what's up? What's going on, Dennis?
¿Qué pasa, amigo?
I'm good. Did I pass through?
Yeah, you're on the live here. I think. Can you guys hear this guy? I don't know who it is.
Bernie out.
All right. ¿Qué pasa? What comment do you have, my friend? My future governor of California.
Well, apart from being California, the state no on Prop 50.
Did it
No on
pass?
Prop 50. No, it hasn't passed yet, but I'm saying no. Say no on Prop 50. We don't want gerrymandering with our elections.
Oh hell no. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, we don't want we don't want that. But you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger is out there talking about this, bro. I mean, the guy is saying, you know, go fight Trump, but do it the right way. You know, go in there with common sense and beat him. The problem is that he's talking to some people that they don't have common sense. They don't know what that means. This guy, did you hear Gavin Newsom over there talking about his childhood, how he had to live on bread and mac and cheese? Lying son bitch. You know, this guy had a lot of money in the family. I was living off the Wonder Bread and mac and cheese. That was a true story for me. Let's not talk about how I used to go to school and go to school wet when it was raining because I had to walk for 30 minutes to get to school. These guys, man. I'm going to make sure that we put that on there. Oh, Trinity already got it, bro. Vote no on Prop 50 in California. Let's go.
Gavin Newsom is generational wealth. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, you know, he told a story amongst all these poor folks, a lot of minorities in there, so he has to make himself sound like he knows the feeling.
But you know, California made Gavin Newsom a self-made billionaire because of all the money he's taken, you know, from California.
Yep.
That guy's a billionaire at this point.
Now, what would you tell our Hispanics that they really hate a migrant wearing this Gulf of America today?
The Gulf of America is called the Gulf of what? Gulf of America?
Yeah, because we're so used to hearing Gulf of Mexico, but in reality, it's the Gulf of America, the continent.
It's just a name. It's a label. It's like a persona. It's not really. It doesn't really make a difference if they call it the Gulf of Canada.
It's really not important, but I like how people get triggered by it.
Yeah, I mean, they get triggered because Trump is the president. See, the thing is, if Biden would have said Gulf of America, nobody would have said anything. But because it's Trump, everybody gets all butthurt about it.
Yeah. Well, and so what would advice would you give? Like, I don't want to put you on the spot, but what advice would you give? Not just the Americans that are ignorant, but a lot of migrants that think Trump is the devil and that it's okay for them to be in this country illegally.
So first, Trump is not the devil. Trump is if you know, sometimes God has a way of choosing who he chooses. It might not be the best person on the list, but there's a reason that he's up there as a president. And if you're here illegally, you know, I mean, you just cut the line in front of the ones that've been waiting for years to be in this country.
There you go. Yep.
So you're not only disrespecting putting in front of the line, you're disrespecting the ones that have already been waiting in line.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, that asylum seeker thing is just something that the Democrats invented. It's something that doesn't really exist in the Constitution of the United States. There's no such thing as asylum seekers. It's just something. It's a made up thing that the Democrats used, and people got to realize that, you know, all these people that they let in are the replacement for all of us U.S. citizens and the ones that don't agree with Trump. So,
that's right. You hit the nail right on the head, my friend.
So everybody that's hating on Trump, they should realize that Trump is only holding his end of the bargain as a U.S. citizen. We have to also, you know, uphold our end of the bargain. Trump is not a savior. The only savior is Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, people can cut the cap of, you know, calling. They can call Trump all they want. They have that freedom to call him, you know, all they want, racist and all this. Honestly, at this point, I don't even know what the meaning of the word racist is no more. Honestly,
yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, shoot, I'm having a hard time with it. I don't even know what it is anymore. You're right.
I don't even know what it is no more. So I don't even know what the derogatory meaning of the word racist is. So you know, and people gotta you know start reading up on, you know, stop being TikTok. Stop using the encyclopedia of TikTok as information from history and actually grab a book and read actual information from a library or something, if there's such thing as libraries nowadays. But, you know, common sense is something that far in between. It's not something normal nowadays. It's something that we're starting to lose.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well, I agree, and I mean, it's just like we're seeing things like we're watching the same things as everybody else, right? But we are looking at we know what's going on in Venezuela, right? And since you called, I'm going to tell it to you on the phone, but I was going to tell this to the chat. They called the whole Trump fight on drugs on Venezuela as simple as a regime change. I find it very interesting that they were laughing at Trump that the right person got the Nobel Peace Prize. And now they're calling that person, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, a regime because she's going to be the one that's going to take over Venezuela when we get rid of Nicolas Maduro. So the hypocrisy of these people on the left, I just don't understand. Like, we're watching the same things, guys. We're seeing the same things. Why is their opinion? What can we do to let people know that the truth is the truth? It's not what we say. It's not what they say. It's what it is. I'm going to add something else while you're on the phone. The people that think that we are defending Republicans because Republicans have always been the best, let me tell you what and why we call everybody in here a patriot. We don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat. As Senator Fetterman said, country before party. If my party, let's say I'm going to be a Republican for the rest of my life and I'm going to teach my children, I'm going to say this. I support the Republicans because this and that, and this is what I believe. But if they step out of line, I will go against them anytime because I'm not a loyalist. I am a patriot. And that is the difference that people don't understand in this country. And they get so caught up on a certain party and they think they have to defend that party for the rest of their lives. It doesn't matter if their country is going down the drain. They just have to defend that party. So, I've seen a lot of Hispanics that support Trump, not because he's the greatest man on earth. I mean, he kind of is, right? But because of everything he's doing. But that's not the reason why we support him. We support him because, as you said, he is an American. And he is doing what an American should do for their country. To where you see the other goons on the other side, there is a lot of mental problems in the blue side. And well, you're going to see some of those on the video that I'm about to play. Did you want to add something extra to that?
So I mean, at this point, there's not really much to say about the Democrat Party. Pretty much, I think I spoke on it a couple of times on the chat.
Yeah, it doesn't
You want
exist.
another Democrat president for another 12 years. I mean, they got to get their stuff together.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
everything they're doing is just giving more. If anything, they're just giving Trump another win for 2028. If anything, that's what they're really doing. They're not really all this government shutdown and everything. It's actually benefiting and making themselves look bad and giving Trump the benefit of the doubt that the party of the Democratic Party is the party of demise and destruction. They don't want nothing but destruction. And I welcome anybody in the chat to go travel to Cuba and see what socialism really is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
not to visit. Go live there. Go live there for a year. No, don't visit. It's
Don't
easy.
live there. People make in Cuba. The people that top paying people in Cuba make $50 a month.
Yeah.
And people over here complaining because they're not getting a EBT card or EBT check. I mean,
Ouch.
There's no such thing as free handouts in Cuba. If the only free handout you get is a half a kilo of rice and a 1 kilo of beans, and that's it. That's pretty much all you get.
Yeah.
You have a house of 6. A husband, a wife, and 4 kids.
Yeah.
How are you gonna live off that? You can't live off of that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So, and then the other thing too about immigration, everybody complains about the U.S. immigration laws. Why does nobody complain about Mexico immigration laws, Cuba immigration laws? To go to Cuba, you have to have a visa. You have to have a visa before you have a U.S. passport. They won't even look at you in immigration if you don't have the visa through their country.
Yeah.
Visa first, second U.S. passport.
Yep.
I mean, it's everywhere in the whole world. There are laws and regulations. I don't know what people get upset about this country having their own immigration laws.
Yeah.
You go to another country, you have to respect their rules.
Yeah,
and regulations.
absolutely, bro. They will shoot you in Poland, bro. They will shoot you over there. Like they don't play. But you know what? But their prime minister, I think it's a prime minister, right, or president. But
It's a prime-
he's
yeah.
right, bro. It's like Poland is peaceful. They don't have no terrorist attacks. They don't have people going over there destroying stuff. They don't destroy businesses. They don't allow foreigners to come in there illegally. Period. And that is a big proof of what the legal immigration process is supposed to look like. The reason why people are allowed to come to this country is not because it's a human right. You can shove that up whatever you want. It's not a human right. We want people, as I understood it, and my mom taught me this as well. We want to come here searching the American dream. And what does the American dream look like? We get to work hard, we get to make something of ourselves, and we get to pay taxes, and then we get to enjoy our retirement when we get old. That is our American dream, to be in this country. She says the American dream is not to come into this country to be on welfare for the rest of your entire life that you are in this country. You are not coming to this country to be a leech. And I've said that word a couple of times already on my lives. You do not come to this country to be a leech and just mooch off of people. You want to be a beggar, stay in your country. Don't come over here and be a beggar. You think not going on the street and asking for money is not begging? No. You abusing the government's benefits that belongs to the American people, not you. That's begging. And frankly, that's stealing, to be honest. That's very fraudulent. That belongs to them.
I know this comment is going to trigger a lot of people in the chat, but to be honest with you, the people that came to assimilate to this country were the people that came 10, 20 years ago. The people that came during the Biden regime, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be frank. I would say 85% of them did not come to work in this country. I would say a good 15%, if that, and I'm being generous.
Yep.
I would say 85% of those people that came through in 2020 and 2024 didn't come to assimilate, didn't come to work, came to reap the benefits of those that work taxpayers' money. And I would say I'm being generous here. 15% actually came to work, and that's a generous number. It'd probably be higher than that.
Wow.
I'm being generous because I see it. I'm out here every day. I see it.
That's crazy, bro. You know, over here when I drive, here there's a lot of constructions and sheetrock and painting. You're gonna see a lot of painting business owners over here, and I'm gonna tell you, very rare are any of those people legal. First of all. And it's not to be prejudiced, and don't be looking at Mexicans or Hispanics working, painting or framing or doing whatever that they're illegal. But let's be honest, and somebody mentioned this on the chat, I think today, earlier or just now, but somebody mentioned this on the chat. No, it wasn't the chat. It was on one of my shorts, I think, one of my short videos. And they said that, how would you feel if they come for you and they try to deport you? And I'm like, what about it? If I look Hispanic, they are looking for illegal immigrants that are in this country. And if there's anything that I can do to help their job easier, when they ask me for ID, well, here's my license. Here's my name. You see me, now you know me. I know they're not looking for me. So I got nothing to hide. And I said, but it doesn't help when people are asking for badge numbers, for names, for showing of faces, and then when they get asked for an ID, it's none of your business. How does that work? I don't know. I just don't see a problem. If a police officer pulls me over and they want to check my ID, so be it, man. Why make a big deal out of it? What is the problem?
Why are people? Well, my question is, why are people going like in New York and all the first, like here in California, going and interrupting an ongoing investigation that's something that doesn't pertain to them? They don't even know the person who's being arrested. You don't even know who they are.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
I mean, what let's get one thing right. We're human beings. We're not perfect.
Yes.
There's going to be room for error. There's I would say the only thing I would say is this could have been approached a different way, but it's already been the decision has been made, so there's no really turning back at this point. But I mean, there's always going to be errors, But if you're being rude and disrespectful to an authority, a federal agent is a person at the end of the day. But you have to respect the authority figure, You know, I already hear people saying Totalitarian. What are you talking about? This ain't fascism. The only fascism that I see is the Democratic Party, because the way they're acting, and you know, they're funding money to people to protest. And over here, like California, when they protested and burned that freeway, shut it down, those were all paid protesters by the Democratic Party.
Bro, I'm laughing at this chat over here as you say that. Monkey Juice says it's the Constitution. That's why we can say that. And then Single Obama here says that Ozzy failed 8th grade history. I know the search bar is hard for y'all to use, but those are facts. This is a guy saying you fail 8th grade history, and I know it's hard for you to find the bar to the search bar. This guy doesn't know shit about history. He is a keyboard warrior, as they call them. This guy's over here Googling shit so that he can say on this chat, how about you tell me something that you study in actual history books, and then we can talk about it. If you Google something, is to remember a date, maybe a name, but you should know history already about this country. These people that think that they're smart, bro, because they can go over there and Google shit out, they will never know the truth about anything in history because they just think that whatever is on the internet must be correct. I go on the internet to make sure something is true, that it matches.
Let's get the high school files and their junior high and their elementary files of the trolls and see how they did well in school instead of worrying about the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Let's worry about their education. Let's get them right. Let's get them a vocational job. Let's get them a plumber job. Let's get them a mechanic's job. Let's get them out here, get them right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about things that really don't, things that don't really pertain to them. Probably like a 14-year-old,
You know what? I'm gonna make it some sort of goal. I'm gonna see if we can, if everything goes as planned as we want to, and we get the people involved or whatever, and somehow we get that seat in office. I'm gonna tell you something. Our education system is failing, bro, and nobody seems to give a damn. I think that we need a lot of discipline. We need a lot of attention on children. We need to have more teachers, more classrooms, and not just give teachers a raise. There's a lot of retarded teachers teaching our children. That's not a joke.
They're teaching, and they have an agenda. They're teaching them like they're taking these kids to the laundromat, like they're brainwashing their brains, and once they reach university, it's the same thing, but twice or worse or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
Brainwashing our society. Not really teaching things they should be teaching. I think we need to bring back vocational teachings to the high school level. Like let's bring back the plumber, the electrician, the mechanic.
Yeah, wood shop.
I would say those three vocationals would put the college, university debt 50% within 4 years. Just think about that.
Yeah.
You go to college, university, you drop out, but you still have a job to depend on to pay back your student loan.
Yep. Adam is 100% education, not indoctrination. That's exactly what we need. I feel like I just missed that bad wave, bro. Like maybe by 5 years, I missed that bad wave, because after I went back to high school, bro, the kids were 100% different than what we were when we were in high school. There was always jocks, there was always bullies, there's always bad things, right? But it's like the whole school has become that. Instead of become better, more educated, access to internet, to access more history, to help us with homework and to get smarter and wiser, they have created these rats that all they do is concentrate on internet, but they have no touch with reality. They don't know what it's like to be a human being with other people.
I think you wanted to say we're living in rifts in a twilight zone where it's like I can't believe what we're going through.
That's what it feels like.
This is not like what we grew up in. This is not the values. Nothing of what do they call this generation? Gen Z? Is it Gen Z?
I have no idea. I don't give a shit about those titles, to be honest, because I never understand the number one. But the second one is this: nobody wants. And you know what? Let's be honest. Let's call it for what it is. We all know it really truly is a spiritual battle. Let's just call it for what it is. the farther we have gone from God, the farther we get away from the family nucleus, the easier we fall into all this sexual immorality. The LGBTQ, they keep adding letters to that alphabet. They accept pedophiles. They accept all kinds of, mental health problems that people don't even know what a gender is anymore. There is people that are trigender. I don't know what the hell that means. What the hell is trigender? They confuse words. They think that sex and gender are different. I mean, even people from my time, they think that's different. No, it's not. It's the same shit. The only difference is on how you use the word sex in one context. But other than that, it means the same thing. And there's only two sexes. There's only two genders. Mental sexual, preferences. Okay, I can understand that. And that is a mental thing. You can choose to do whatever you want, but you got to be honest to yourself and stop indoctrinating children, man. Children are the most gullible. They're the most innocent. They believe a lot of things. Everything that we tell them, they believe. So if you're telling them lies from the get-go, I can understand why keyboard warriors like this guy is over here talking about searching shit. I can understand why he's so twisted. He's been indoctrinated since he was little. I mean, by the time that I am the half a century old that I am, well, I will be, it's 35 years, man. 30 years from high school. Imagine that. 30 years from high school, and these are the children of those dropouts. These are the children of those rebellious bad kids from the 80s and 90s. These are the children of those people that said, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want, and I don't care what happens.
You beat me to it, Dennis. I was about to say that, even their kids, their parents are the same ones that, like you said, dropped out. Not only that, like they said, when we grew up in our homes, they in English they would say, send them to school, get them right. Or they would say in Spanish, mándame a la escuela para que el maestro lo enseñe. The teachers are not there to educate.
They're not there. Nope.
They're there to educate the material they studied for to teach you upon.
Yep. Read, write, learn history,
English,
business.
math, whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever it is, chemistry, biology, whatever they're supposed to be teaching the material, that's what their job is. Their job is not for them to accept it, for you to give them, as a student, give them a hard time. They're there to teach the material, to get you right, to put you through school, get you to college, whatever, as a mentor to motivate you. But here these kids are giving, disrespecting the teacher, trying to get in a fist fight, trying to put their fist up like they're trying to get in a fight with the teacher. That's not the school system that we should be having. We should have a school system that's respectful. The teacher respects the student student respects the teacher. This is honestly totally out of control now. I don't know what, but like you said, the educational system is down the drain pretty much.
100%, brother. Thank you for the call, bro. I don't want to keep you over here and do the show. I know you're very busy, and hey, let me tell you something very personal. I admire you, bro. How you go around and support patriots that are standing up for this country. You have been tremendous help to me, not just with advice, good positive words. I think that our beliefs align, and that's why we connect. But also the financial support that you have provided for our channel, Trinity knows. And she's a lady, smart, very wise, full of love, a lot of life experience with like ourselves, like myself, I would say, but I really admire you that you are able to do that with Will, with Graham, and maybe others out there. I know Ozzy and some of these other guys also support them as well. And that's exactly what we need, man. We need to be able to get up there and help others. If God's will is for me to grow more, I want to do the same for others as well. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support and also for your faith in God. And hopefully we can get people back in track, man. There is, a lot of rebelliousness has been multiplied tremendously. And it's going to be hard to get back at it. But thank you so much for your call, man. Much love to you, brother.
It's an honor and a pleasure, but we all got to chip in, put out a little grain of sand. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you're amazing, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
We might not convert the whole world, but we get two people to realize, to get people to realize themselves. We're not trying to force them, but the real self-realization that we're not here. We don't want the worst. We want the best for our society, to the United States. But All right, Patriots. Good talk. Good call, Dennis.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
talk to you later, brother.
Thank you for your call, man. I appreciate it.
Okay. All
All
right.
right, peace. I think that Berniel actually hit that on the nail on the head. And I mean that. Not only is he supporting a lot of people, he's being positive. He's trying to change America to what we know it to be great. And people always ask us, when was America great? Well, we're talking about it, and the more that we're able to communicate, the more things that we're going to see that have changed. Cheryl, 100%. Let me tell you something. I don't know how old this guy is. Hey, Ken. How are you, brother? Good to see you in here. I saw your name pop in here somewhere. Kenneth says, at Trinity Meadows, tell me who was at Trump's inauguration. It was some of the most richest men in America. Yes, sir. And I will say this. If it wasn't for those rich men, we wouldn't be having the White House being upgraded for free. No taxpayer money. And this is why I defend rich people. Because rich people actually provide jobs, and they are a fountain of wealth that can make this country great. President Donald Trump knows that better than any of us. Look at the Japanese prime minister. I think it's a prime minister or president, I don't know, whatever her title is. But she is now the president of Japan. Look how happy she looks walking with Trump. And don't get perverted. I know where you guys go with that. Look how happy she is. Number one, she's a female on a very, very male-dominant culture. And she has the respect of all the men, meaning that this lady is going to do a lot of great things, not just for Japan, but for the United States of America. President Donald Trump likes to make friends like the Saudi prince, Johnny. You guys remember Johnny? I love that. I love that. He makes friends with all kinds of millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. And because he knows that money makes the world go round. Period. You ask any socialist on the street, do you want us to tax the rich more? Yes, they need to pay their share fare. Well, come on. They pay 70 to 75% of all the taxes collected in the United States of America. The second thing you ask the socialists on the street is, how many jobs are you providing for your community? The answer typically is zero, nothing. We are going to take a break from here, and we're going to listen to, your fake Democrat politicians. Sorry, guys, I got to do it. Here we go. You guys pay attention to this. We might learn. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Isaac. Hey, Isaac, welcome back, bro. It's been a while. Not a single politician will solve the issues until the money is fixed. Not Trump, no one. If the money is broken, everything is broken. Now, I like that. Now, let me tell you why I like that, Isaac. That's exactly right. And I got my faith in God, and I trust that everything that's happening is happening for the goodwill of us, man, and that everything is going the right way. But we have seen that, especially what I see here in Washington State, there has been a lot of money collected, Isaac, a lot. We're talking about billions of dollars collected, and all of them are gone, and there's nowhere to be found. They're not traceable. NGOs that existed, they don't know where the money went. So it's kind of like homeless. You can't just keep giving them money and thinking that this is going to fix them. No, they need to learn to be responsible. They need to be re-educated. They need to start thinking that there is purpose in life. They need to understand that they matter, that they are important. There has to be some sort of encouragement for those people. So yes, no amount of money is ever going to fix the problem. But we can hope that by fixing our economy again, and by hopefully convincing people that mass illegal immigration is wrong and all these people got to go. I will say, if you don't want anybody to be thrown to the ground and get arrested and get deported, Let me point out a couple of things. We're going to watch the Democrat politicians over here tell us why this shutdown is happening. And of course, they say it's Trump's government shutdown. And that's okay. It's an opinion. I understand. But let me tell you two things. Well, maybe more than two. But here's the first one. Sanctuary cities. If it wasn't for sanctuary cities denying, and you guys remember this, because Pam Bondi sent a letter to these governors and senators and mayors of the states. We need you to tell us when a criminal, illegal immigrant has been arrested and in jail. Do that, because that's exactly who we want to get rid of first. And then we'll go after everybody else, but that is number one priority. So what did they do? They blocked it. Don't you dare come over here. Judges were hiding criminal, illegal immigrants. Judges, governors, senators, mayors in blue cities and states were hiding criminal, illegal immigrants. So what happens then? Well, you didn't listen. We told you to tell us when they came to jail. So two things right off the bat right there. Now, if you want to help the illegal immigrants, your advice, number one, as an American, should be self-deport before it's too late. I don't want to see you being dragged down the street. That's it. Self-deport. Either you do it the nice way or you do it the eyes way. Either way is your choice. Now, here's the other number two thing that you're going to do as an American citizen. You are not going to obstruct justice. Otherwise, your ass will be arrested, probably beat down and slammed on the concrete with some handcuffs on in the back of a police car. That will happen if you abuse your freedom of speech. Now, with that being said, let's get into this video here real quick. I know I'm dreading it, guys. I'm dreading it. I don't want to watch it. But we must. So here we go.
Heads up.
Dollar Bomb in the house. Oh, and here comes the Witch of the West.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is day 28 of the Trump Republican shutdown. And Democrats continue to make clear that we will sit down with our Republican colleagues anytime, any place, here at the Capitol or back at the White House in order to reopen the government, enact a bipartisan spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people, and address the health care crisis that Republicans have caused that is devastating people all across the country, in working class America, rural America, urban America, small town America, the heartland of America, and black and brown communities throughout America, particularly at this point, given the Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. That will cause premiums, copays, and deductibles to increase by tens of millions of people by thousands of dollars per year. At the same time, Republicans are now threatening to weaponize hunger against the American people and withhold funding for nutritional assistance for children and seniors and veterans and women. This is on top of the fact that in the one big ugly bill that Republicans passed in July, in addition to a nearly $1 trillion cut to Medicaid, Republicans enacted the largest cut to SNAP in American history. $186 billion cut. They ripped food from the mouths of children, seniors, veterans, women, and families in order to provide massive tax breaks to their billionaire donors. It's completely and totally unacceptable. And on top of that, now they are threatening to withhold funding that the Trump administration has in a contingency fund in ways that will deprive everyday, hard-working American taxpayers of the nutritional assistance they need to put food on the table. It's now my honor to yield to the top Democrat on the Appropriations Committee, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Leader, for convening this press event today and on this particular issue, which is really so critical. And I want to say a thank you to my colleague, Angie Craig, and as the ranking member on agriculture. Thank you for your expertise. Thank you for your leadership on this very, very critical issue that we're talking about today. I want to start by making one thing abundantly clear. What President Trump is doing on the hunger issue and on the nutrition issue is immoral. I am the ranking member on the Appropriations Committee, and I promise you that there is funding available to provide SNAP benefits beyond November 1st. There is, at the very least, over $5 billion in contingency funds that Congress set aside. Congress, Democrats and Republicans, set aside explicitly to pay out SNAP benefits in the event of some unforeseen circumstances, like President Trump's shutdown. They are, in fact, by doing this, in violation of the Empowerment Control Act of 1974. The contingency funding that we set aside for SNAP is not optional spending. It is required by the law. We appropriated that money for this purpose. The White House must spend it, and what they are doing right now, blocking these funds from going out, is illegal. As a matter of fact, on October 1st, they took $750 million from this fund to deal with paying benefits in Puerto Rico and providing administrative costs to other states. So they acknowledge that this fund can be used in order to deal with SNAP benefits. There was nothing stopping the Trump administration from making sure that every single one of the 42 million Americans, 16 million children, 8 million seniors, 4 million people with disabilities, 1.2 million veterans received nutrition assistance in November. And we are at a cost of living crisis with skyrocketing food costs. And President Trump is doing right now is using the fear that so many working people have about where their next meal is coming from as a political bargaining chip. Does anyone actually believe for 1 second that if President Trump really wanted to cover the SNAP benefits, they would not be able to find the money? When he wanted to bail out his buddy in Argentina, they found $40 billion. When he wanted to build a new ballroom to host his billionaire donors, they found $350 million. They found the money. When he wanted to make sure his Homeland Security Secretary could fly in style on 2 new luxury private jets, they found the money, $172 million. But now, when it comes to making sure hungry families can put food on the table, all of a sudden, they can't find the money. And what it costs us every month is $8 billion. And I saw the Secretary, Rollins, this afternoon saying it's at 9.2. I'm trying to find out where she got that number. It's $8 billion to cover SNAP dollars. Is that right, Angie? Right. Angie knows these numbers by heart. She's now talking about 9.2. False. And that there is no, they have, with the snap of a finger, that money can be released and get to people who need it. So if there's between $5 and $6 billion, we may be $2 billion short But that's enough to get us into November until what we're doing, and then we can look to deal with the rest of it. The Trump administration is more than happy to cut backroom deals. They want to dole favors out to the highest bidders. It's a shame that 16 million children who rely on SNAP benefits did not shell out a hefty donation to the president's inaugural fund. But they're only kids, after all. House Republicans are still on vacation. We have not voted on any legislation in over a month. But if they were here, I doubt that they would object to the president's decision, not just because they are too cowardly to stand up to him under any circumstances, but because decimating food stamps, its food stamps, is what they have wanted all along. Their big, beautiful bill, as the leader has pointed out, and his signature piece of legislation, slashes SNAP funding by $189 billion. That will strip 22 million Americans of some or all of their nutrition assistance over 10 years. Let me just conclude by saying to you that does anybody believe there is a shortage of food in the United States of America? Anyone who believes that? No. We have an abundance of food here in this country. And the president is required by law to use the remaining money in the contingency fund that Congress appropriated. It's not up for debate. He has the broad authority to transfer funds beyond that to cover the program. If he does not do so, it is because he chooses to not do it. It may be because they don't care about feeding hungry families. I don't deal with food insecurity as a phrase. This is about hungry people. People going hungry in the United States when we have an abundance of food in this country. This is not a game, it's people's lives. We're the wealthiest nation in the world, as I said, with the abundance of food, and no one, not an adult, not a child, not a senior, not a veteran, should go hungry in the United States. Under President Trump and Republicans' failed leadership, it is just one crisis after another. Open enrollment for health insurance begins in 4 days. They have not addressed the health care crisis they created. President Trump and the Republicans should return to Washington, end the shutdown. Vacation is over. We are here, we are working, and we are ready whenever they decide to join us. Let me turn it over now to the really indefatigable and will be chair of the not appropriations, of the Authorization Committee, Angie Craig from Minnesota.
Well, thank you so much, Rosa, and thank you, Leader Jeffries. We are here today because President Trump and Secretary Brooke Rollins have chosen to take food away from 42 million Americans. Instead of coming to the table and working with Democrats to find a way to protect Americans from losing their health care, their health insurance premiums increasing dramatically, or both, the Trump administration has chosen to use the security of food in our country as a bargaining chip in a government shutdown. The president can't even be bothered to be in the country while Americans line up at food shelves across our nation. 440,000 Minnesotans alone need access to the SNAP program. The Trump administration has the appropriated funds and legal authority to fully fund SNAP in November, plain and simple. They are refusing to follow the law, and they are cutting food assistance when there are ample funds available, over $5 billion in the SNAP contingency fund, and they have the legal statutory transfer authority to fund the rest. If the president wanted to help feed hungry Americans, he would. He's shown us that. He does whatever the hell he wants to, whether it's legal or not. This is not only legal, but it is the right thing to do. But his actions have shown a callous disregard for America's seniors, veterans, and families with children. Earlier this year, he canceled food orders to food banks, stopping $500 million worth of food from reaching people in need. Food that our family farmers across this nation have grown. Food that they counted on being able to sell to the nation's food banks. The Republicans' one and only priority this Congress has been the big ugly bill, which not only cut health care by $1 trillion, but also cut SNAP by $186 billion, a frontal assault on our most effective basic need food assistance program to help vulnerable members of our community who rely on it to keep food on the table. Now the administration is taking food away from 16 million children, 8 million seniors, and 1.2 million veterans. Their hands are not tied. Their hands are not tied. The law is clear. The law is as clear as this administration's cruelty is as clear. The law is as unambiguous as congressional Republicans' desire to let the ACA tax credits expire. It is unconscionable. It is egregious, and it is illegal. I'm calling on the president to do the right thing and the moral thing, which coincidentally offers him a chance to do something he rarely does, which is follow the law. I'm calling on my Republican colleagues to speak up to your friends in this administration and at the USDA and deliver a simple message. They have the money and the authority to fund SNAP. Hungry Americans are not poker chips. Their health and well-being are not to be gambled with. And I so appreciate the attorneys generals from across this nation, including my own Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, for standing up to this administration earlier today. Stop playing politics with America's hungry children, veterans, the disabled, seniors. Get back to the negotiating table. Open up the government and fund SNAP in November. Thank you.
Connecticut joined that suit too, so excited to be with you.
We're going to do on-topic questions first around the shutdown, SNAP, and healthcare.
My question is for Congresswoman DeLauro on the shutdown. The Speaker said that throughout the shutdown the last month or so that appropriators have still continued to work on the 12 appropriations bills. Can you talk about what that work has looked like as lawmakers have been off the Hill? How have your members been able to engage with Republican appropriators in both the House and Senate?
Sure. When when the four of us sat down, Congressman Cole, Senators Murray and Collins and myself, that's really now over a month ago, and we came together and we talked about 2 or 3 things. One of them was that what we needed to do was to have the top lines for the agriculture, interior, and the military construction bill. The second thing, and we agreed that we would do that, so we had a number to work to. The second thing was that we would do a bipartisan continuing resolution. A bipartisan continuing resolution. And that would include 2 things. One of which was to take into consider Democratic priorities, because all of the bills that we had seen were just unilaterally partisan. And amongst those Democratic priorities was the issue of health care and the premium subsidies and the Medicaid cuts. It's $1 trillion and the skyrocketing costs that are now upon people at this very, very moment. And the other thing that we spoke about, and there was a consensus about this, that what we needed to do was in the future, when the appropriators came to a conclusion, that would stick, and that we wouldn't have any unelected bureaucrats who were saying, no, money's going here, money's going there, everywhere, except for where it was appropriate. We had consensus about that. Not a few days later, on the table, bang. This is the Republican continuing resolution, and therefore that's what it is. In the meantime, yes, staff in both the House and the Senate have worked on those 3 bills, and I would just say they have made progress on the bills. But the issue now is coming to the table to be able to deal with the continuing resolution and the issues that have been central to that, which is cutting the costs and canceling the cuts and saving America's health care. Now, you may want to ask, what does that have to do with the bill? Well, the continuing resolution is 91 pages. 67 of those pages are about health care and so forth. So it is the appropriate conversation, and given that those notices are going out now, that we need to deal with it now. So we are waiting for them to come to the table to reopen the government. And honestly, if we can get my 3 other colleagues, we will move on appropriations bills. But they have refused to come to the table since the outset of this debate.
Yeah, Donald Trump and Republicans have taken a my way or the highway approach from the very beginning of this Congress. And we've maintained, led by Rosa DeLauro, that we want to sit down and negotiate a bipartisan spending agreement, now reopen the government, but at the same period of time, address the Republican health care crisis, which has been devastating on everyday Americans and hardworking American taxpayers throughout this year, including the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. Hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers closing because of Republican policies and their one big ugly bill throughout America, including in rural parts of the country. The American people now confront the possibility of a $536 billion cut to Medicare because of what Republicans did in their one big ugly bill if Congress doesn't act by the end of this year, and now because Republicans refuse to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Tens of millions of Americans right now are receiving notices as we approach open enrollment on November 1st, indicating to them that their premiums are going to skyrocket in ways that will make it unaffordable for them to see a doctor when they need to see one, when their children needs to see one, when their family members need to see one. This is a health care crisis that Republicans have visited on the American people, and it has to be dealt with decisively. We're now heading into a SNAP crisis. As Angie Craig and Rosa DeLauro have so powerfully articulated, that is a man-made Republican crisis because Donald Trump has decided that he wants to force millions of Americans, including possibly 16 million children, to experience hunger so they could continue their my way or the highway approach toward driving their right-wing extreme agenda down the throats of the American people. Unacceptable.
Mr. Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Today is the first day air traffic controllers will go without a paycheck. You're speaking about SNAP right now. We also have questions around how troops are going to get paid. At the crux of your fight against the Republican bill is the ACA, is healthcare. Are you concerned that these other issues, these other pressing issues like SNAP, the air traffic controllers not getting paid, troops not getting paid, are you concerned that that will start to dominate the conversation or dominate the consciousness of America, that the ACA conversation kind of gets pushed to the wayside?
Well, we've made clear from the very beginning that we want to enact a bipartisan spending agreement that meets the needs of the American people, that improves their quality of life, that drives down the high cost of living here in this country, where costs haven't gone down, as Trump promised on day one, costs have gone up. And we set out from the very beginning in September that we want to reach a spending agreement that's bipartisan, that meets the needs of the American people in 3 areas: their health, their safety, and their economic well-being. And that, of course, includes making sure that they can put food on the table in the wealthiest country in the history of the world. Donald Trump and Republicans have launched an all-out assault on the American people from the very beginning of this presidency. And it's cruel, and it's punitive, and it's hurting everyday Americans. We want to reopen the government. Republicans in the House have been on vacation now for 5 consecutive weeks. They've canceled votes for 5 consecutive weeks. This is extraordinary. If we reached an agreement, they wouldn't even be here to pass one because they want to keep the government closed. And we're just going to continue to urge them to come to the negotiating table so we can reach the type of bipartisan spending agreement that the American people deserve. I don't know, Angie, what do you want to say?
I would just add to that, look, you know, the time is now that people are looking at what their health care costs are going to go up. November 1st, when people open their portal in Minnesota on MNsure, the average increase for a 60-year-old couple is going up $15,000 next year. Think about that. How can Americans fit another $15,000 into their budget? They can't even afford their housing and their health care and their grocery costs today. This is a moment in time where we have to have the moral courage as Democrats and Republicans to come together to make sure that Americans can stay healthy. People are desperate as they go to renew their health care. It's not in December. It's not next year. It is November 1st, this Saturday. So in terms of being distracted, people are not distracted by the premium increases that they're getting. They are laser focused on what's happening in their own budgets right now.
If I just want to add one more thing. A young woman in my district, Renee, who I was with on Friday, she got her notice, an increase of $2,000 per month. $24,000 a year for health insurance. Can anybody here pay for that? She can't. Her husband is gravely ill. He doesn't have insurance, etc. These are real stories. But I would say to you that on the food stamp issue, the money is there. Let us not let them get away with saying that they can't do it. They have their political will isn't there to feed the people who rely on the SNAP program, which is the most effective anti-hunger program in the United States of America. They're playing fast and loose with people eating. Can you imagine that? But that's the reality, and you need to talk about that. They just talked to states about not wanting to reimburse. My state of Connecticut yesterday is putting up $3 million. They want to know if they can get reimbursed. This administration has said, no, you can't get reimbursed. But you know what's happened in the past? Because Democrats and Republicans have come together to work on these issues, all the benefits have been paid out, whether it was a reimbursement or it was the benefits that they so deserve and that they qualify for. This is an administration that is lawless at its core, and we cannot let them get away with it. Mr. Lee.
Yeah. So we're almost about 3 days out from where the original Democratic CR was set to expire. Can we expect to see a new Democratic CR with a new date and any other potential policy changes?
Well, we'll continue to be in conversation with our Senate Democratic colleagues. We've all held firm to the proposition that we want to reopen the government. We want to negotiate a bipartisan spending agreement. That's our position, and we've maintained it from the very beginning. The problem, the reason why we're in this shutdown, day 28, is that Donald Trump and Republicans continue to maintain a my way or the highway approach, and the American people know it. Which is why the American people have turned against Donald Trump and Republicans, because their policies aren't working. They've gone too far in area after area after area, and have not made life better for the American people. So we'll continue to be in dialogue with our Senate Democratic colleagues, but publicly, our position has been the same as our private position, which is we'll sit down anytime, any place with anyone on the other side of the aisle, either here at the Capitol or go back to the White House, where we've repeatedly made clear to President Trump. Reconvene the legislative leaders. Convene the appropriators. Do what leaders do in moments like this, as opposed to being missing in action now for 28 days while finding $40 billion to bail out a right-wing wannabe dictator in Argentina and destroying the historic parts of the White House in real time so that he can construct a ballroom where he will be celebrated like a wannabe king. This is all outrageous stuff. And the American people see it unfolding before their very eyes. And they know that Donald Trump and Republicans have not been serious. about doing what is necessary to enact a spending agreement that actually improves the quality of life of hardworking American taxpayers.
Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Republicans have said that the easiest way to fund SNAP is to reopen the government. And you say that Democrats want to reopen the government. Why not call on your Senate colleagues, your Senate Democratic colleagues, to reopen the government and alleviate all the impacts of the shutdown, and then immediately dive headfirst into solving this healthcare crisis? All hands on deck.
As has been the case, and as Angie Craig and Rosa DeLauro, who I'll yield to momentarily, have repeatedly said, the funds have already been allocated by the Congress in a bipartisan way to allow a continuation of SNAP benefits through November 1st, deep into the month of November, and there's additional funds that are available to be reallocated so that not a single person in this country goes hungry. And if that happens beginning on November 1st, it's because Donald Trump and Republicans want the American people to go hungry. And that's the problem that we confront.
Yeah, that's absolutely the case, and that's exactly what the lawsuit that was filed across this country by 23 states, District of Columbia, others, says that they have an absolute legal responsibility to use the contingency fund to fund SNAP. That we have never seen a lapse in funding of SNAP during a government shutdown previously. And they also have the authority, Secretary Brooke Rollins, to move additional money over to make sure that not a single child in this country goes hungry. They are ignoring their legal responsibility. They are ignoring the moral clarity that we have, that there is no way we should be allowing seniors and veterans and children to go hungry in this country. And where are they? The president is in Japan, trying to get people to buy foreign cars. Last week, he was trying to get people to buy Argentine beef. This is not an America First administration. These are not America First policies on behalf of this administration. And what people really care about in Minnesota and across this country is what's happening in their own budgets. And what's happening in their own budgets is that this president's trade wars, attacks on family farmers by decimating the farm economy, is causing farm bankruptcies to dramatically increase across our country. And look, it's a slap in the face to family farmers. Without those farmers, we will not have food security in this country, and this administration needs to step up and do the right thing.
By the way, supplemental nutrition assistance program. We just don't sit here and say, okay, we're going to pass this law today, and Democrats and Republicans are going to agree to that, and the president signs it into law, and then we say, oh, hey, did we really mean to do that? And just to ignore that, which is what is happening. It is in the law. And they are violating the law because they don't have the political will to do it. Because, you know why? Because what they want to do is, as Secretary Rollins did this afternoon on TV, is to say that the Democrats are responsible for taking food out of the mouths of children, or some other, quite honestly, cockamamie excuse that she might have for not following what the law of the land is. But it is, quite frankly, starting with January, there's been an unbelievable violation of the Constitution and the laws of this nation with this administration. But let's stand our ground and let the people know that the money is there. They need to wave their magic wand, and the money will go out, and in short order, we'll be able to get 42 million people fed in the way that the food stamp program has done from its outset.
We thank Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro and Congresswoman Angie Craig for their continued leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.
This question is for any of the representatives, but now it'll be for you, Leader Jeffries. Mike Johnson and some of his Republican colleagues have pointed out the pain of Americans losing access to nutritional assistance programs, including in his press conference today, although they do blame Democrats for funding health care for who they call illegal aliens. Do you think there's going to be any flexibility for them in meeting with Democrats to address this issue, given they've talked about it?
the Republicans passed their one big ugly bill in July. And that bill hurts everyday Americans to reward their billionaire donors. And in that bill, they enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. Hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers are closing all across the country, including in Louisiana, because of what Mike Johnson and Republicans did in that one big ugly bill. And at the same time, they cut SNAP benefits by $186 billion. Donald Trump and Republicans literally ripped food from the mouths of hungry children, seniors, families, and veterans in order to reward their billionaire donors. That's what the one big ugly bill was all about. And so at this moment in time, these Republicans have zero credibility as it relates to the issues connected to health care and SNAP. Because the American people have already seen what Republican policies look like. And that's ripping health care away from millions of Americans and doing the same thing as it relates to nutritional assistance. Our position continues to be clear. Let's sit down. Let's reopen the government. Let's find a path toward a bipartisan spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people. But we have to address the Republican health care crisis and the fact that on November 1st, just a few days from now, open enrollment will begin and reality will strike for tens of millions of Americans who receive their health insurance, both from the Affordable Care Act tax credits and beyond, that their health care costs are about to skyrocket, in some cases increase by $10,000 per year, $15,000 per year, more than $20,000 a year. These are working class Americans who are about to be hit with these dramatic increases that they cannot afford. And that's why Democrats continue to be in this fight until we win this fight.
Thank you, Leader Jeffries. The House Oversight Committee released their report into the former President Biden's auto pen use and the probe that they investigated. And Attorney General Pam Bondi said that the DOJ will initiate a review of the Biden administration's reported use of the auto pen for pardons. Can I get your reaction to that?
The so-called chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, continues to behave like a malignant clown. We can't point to a single thing that he's actually done to make life better for the American people. Here's what he should investigate if he's investigating presidents or former presidents. Investigate the fact that Donald Trump promised that costs would go down on day one. He promised, Donald Trump, repeatedly, that costs would go down on day one. Costs haven't gone down. They're going up. Inflation moving in the wrong direction, as evidenced by the most recent report that was just issued last week. Housing costs are up, grocery costs are up, child care costs are up, electricity bills are through the roof, and now because of the Republicans' refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, tens of millions of Americans are about to experience dramatic increases in their health care costs that will force medical bankruptcy on many of them, or they'll have to make a choice between going to see a doctor, putting clothing on their back, paying the rent or mortgage, or putting food on the table. This is what's happening in the United States of America, the wealthiest country in the history of the world. If James Comer wants to investigate something, investigate Donald Trump's lie that he was going to lower costs on day one.
Thank you, Leader. I have two questions. The first is about the federal workers, the largest unions letter earlier this week. Does this give you any concern that that'll put pressure on Senate Democrats to cave? And then the second question is about Bondi. Obviously, you've given him his endorsement. Do you encourage Leader Schumer to do the same?
I issued a statement with respect to the mayor's race in New York City last Friday. That statement speaks for itself. In terms of the current situation that we find ourselves in relative to hardworking federal employees, we support them and will continue to stand by them. the Trump administration has fired or let go more than 200,000 hardworking federal civil servants this year prior to the shutdown that they're visiting on the American people. That's what the Trump administration has done. This year, fired more than 200,000 hardworking federal employees. They have been targeting civil servants from the very beginning of this presidency. In fact, members of the Trump administration have said publicly that they want to traumatize federal employees. That's what they've said. That's what the OMB director said. So our position will remain consistent. We want to reopen the government. We want to make sure that every single federal employee gets paid, both the ones who are furloughed and the ones who are essential workers who have been forced by this Trump administration to work without pay because Donald Trump and Republicans continue to keep the government shut down. We know that's their position because House Republicans have canceled votes for 5 consecutive weeks. We know that's the Republican position because the Senate Republican leader continues to bring the same partisan Republican spending bill to the floor for a vote. It's now been brought to the floor 13 times, and it's went down to defeat 13 times because Leader Schumer and Senate Democrats, partnering with House Democrats, have continued to take the same position. We will not support a partisan Republican spending bill that guts the health care of the American people. Third row.
Thanks, sir. I'm curious for your reaction to reports that DHS has purged senior ICE officials and wants to replace them with Border Patrol. Are you concerned that this might signal a shift in how the administration is approaching deportations?
Well, our view with respect to the immigration issue generally is that we support a safe and a strong and a secure border at all times. And that will continue to be important. We have a broken immigration system and it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed in a comprehensive and bipartisan way. At the same period of time, the American people are understandably horrified at the extremism that the Department of Homeland Security has unleashed on law-abiding immigrant families and communities, separating hardworking mothers from their children, in many instances, children who are American citizens. And so it's our hope that if there's going to be a change in personnel, it's actually to enact a more humane approach rather than what we've seen in community after community throughout the country, including in the Chicago area, which is rightly turning off the American people to the extreme immigration policies of Donald Trump and the Republicans. Yep.
Do you believe Eleanor Holmes Norton should retire given mounting concerns over her mental fitness for office?
I have not had a recent conversation with Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton. Obviously, she's had a legendary career. Ultimately, it's going to be her decision and the people of the District of Columbia to make that decision as to who's best positioned to represent their interests moving forward. Thanks.
Just piggybacking off of an earlier question, regarding the Federal Workers Union, Speaker Johnson earlier today, reportedly on the call with his conference, indicated that he thought that that pressure and the SNAP benefits would force Democrats' hand to adjust. What's your response to his supposition that this may change things? And is there any, in your mind, is there an off-ramp?
Well, Democrats are going to continue to stand up for hardworking federal employees as we've done throughout the year in the face of the relentless targeting of civil servants by Donald Trump and his administration. Federal employees know who stands on their side. It's us, House and Senate Democrats. They've lived the experience of the Trump administration going after them in the most horrific ways possible since January 20th, and we, as House and Senate Democrats, are going to continue to stand up for them. We're going to continue to stand up for nutritional assistance. It's the Republicans who cut $186 billion, the largest cut to SNAP in American history. They just did this in July. as part of their one big ugly bill so they could reward their billionaire donors and continue to subsidize the lifestyles of the rich and shameless. It's out of control. That's their track record. That's the Republican track record. And of course, we're going to continue to stand up for the health care of the American people. And I don't know why Republicans think this is a game. This is not a game. This is about the health and the well-being, economically, of the American people. And Democrats are going to stay in this fight until we win this fight for working class Americans, for middle class Americans, and for hardworking American taxpayers. Thank you all.
Thank you.
The second part of that is an answer to that.
Let's go. That's for all my leftist friends over here that haven't got a clue yet of what's going on. John Pratt loved it. I figured some of you guys would appreciate it. Wilbur, sorry, I commented that because as Bama says that will be a bet that you can win, and you mentioned Trinity before then, so that's what I was looking at. All right, you're back on my good list, dear friend. I find it interesting, and I wanted to play that. I know that you guys are having a hard time swallowing this because we already believe something different. But I find it very interesting that people, even right now in this chat, I was watching this, and this is why I wanted to play this video. In this chat, I heard people say President Trump can pay for it right now. Now, everybody, liberty for all, welcome, bro. But everybody complains about Trump, bitches about Trump. Trump bad, Orange Man bad, Cheeto Man bad, oh, blah, blah, blah. Everything that Trump touches turns into crap to these people. And yet, they defend the Democrats that are keeping the government shut down. Why? Why? They have already said it themselves. If they open the government, they will lose the leverage. If they would have said yes to pay federal employees, you know, for the EBT, for you know, some of the other people that are not getting paid, they didn't want to pass that because they will lose leverage against President Trump, and he's not going to care about opening the government again. Now, let me tell you what's happening here, and I hope that you can appreciate this take on it. Right now, government's been shut down for over a month. If it was up to Republicans and Trump, the government will stay in place. Now, you heard it from them. We got plenty of money on the reserve. The reserve. Have you ever driven on a reserve tank in your car? Not the best feeling. Not the best place to be. $38 trillion in debt, and these people can only think about wasting more money. Let's not forget that they cut down a lot of stuff out of the big, beautiful bill because they said it was too much money, spending too much money already. How do you defend that? I just don't understand. Liberty for All says, I bet my year's salary that if every time there is a government shutdown, the first people who doesn't get paid will be anybody who holds a seat on government. The Republicans and the Democrats will not close it. Man, 100%. I believe it. Thanks for the chats, Liberty. Oh, my God, we're about to get ugly. I'm going to tell you, man, I'm trying to make sense to you. I'm trying to give you. I really am. I'm not hating you. You know, guys. If you're American, we're on the same team. But you got to see this. You got to see it for what it is. The Congress. These guys are in Congress. They're not the Senate. They're in Congress. They're getting paid. The Senate's getting paid. See, it would be like me saying, I got 1 million people. Oh, but sir, you can't go to that war. Sir, we're going to lose 800,000 people if we go to war right now. You know, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Yeah, why? Because it's not me. That's why. You see, you need to vote for servants that don't care about themselves or their agenda. You got to know them for who they are. I want to know who the hell looked at this witch of the South and said, she would be perfect for office. Let's get her in. Oh, well, that guy is a little crazy and senile. He will be perfect for office. Let's vote him in. I bet you a lot of loyalist people that go voting, they don't care who the person is that is running for office or judge or anything. They say, I'm a Democrat, Democrat all the way down. And then they wonder why this country is going down the shit. You're responsible for this. If you voted for these people in, you are responsible for this. But again, back to my point. How beautiful is it that with the government shutdown, meaning no Democrats, because Republicans are still doing their job, no Democrats, the president goes out to Japan, goes out and make a deal, is going to bring some manufacturers back here to the United States of America, where Americans are going to get employed. And what that witch say about that? Oh, President Trump. We got the government shutdown. People on welfare. Oh, they're going to die of hunger. Oh, we got plenty of food in this country. That's what she said. We got plenty of money and food, she says, to feed the people. Bro, tell me right now, serious question. Serious question. I want you to be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, please. Ask yourself this question. And I mean this not in hate. Not at all. Not at all. Ask yourself this question, please. The people that are getting paid want to use the reserve money to pay the welfare system. Okay, sounds noble. What are they doing to make that money back? Ask yourself that question. But that's just part of the question. That's one of the questions. What are they doing to get that money back? How is that billions of dollars in reserve going to be filled back in? Let me tell you something. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. I'm trying to be as humble, as loving, as reasonable as I can. Something that you're not going to get from these crazy libtards that do the YouTube for clicks. The president of the United States, forget it's Trump. Forget about that. The president of the United States of America, during a government shutdown, along with hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of American patriots, are still serving this country for free. Their families, military service families, go into food banks. Why? Our military service people shouldn't have to go to food banks. If anything, they should have their own private food bank for an emergency. They are still serving. They are still protecting this country. So, man, I'm going to cry of the sacrifice that these people are doing, and you insensitive bastards don't give a damn about the suffering of people. You allow this thing to talk bad about the president that is out there for free because we don't pay him, making deals around the world to put America first. And these idiots that have no knowledge say we're wasting money. Argentina, investment. Ukraine, investment. Venezuela, investment. Saudi Arabia, investment. Israel, investment. Money is coming in. Oh, he's in Japan right now. He's doing nothing. He's just making a $500 billion deal with Japan to come and make Japanese cars in the United States of America. Ask yourself the honest question. Forget about what I tell you. Ask yourself, put the things together yourself. Please ask yourself that question. Who is lying to you? The people that keep voting no to help you get benefits right now? Trump doesn't want the government open. Neither do we. None of us do. We want the government to stay shut down to prove the libtards that we don't need them. I don't want to sound like a communist that I'm supporting only one party. But right now, this is the party that's working for America. So we got to be country first, party second. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how good I'm talking about Senator Fetterman, the hoodie guy. This is the guy, the hoodie guy, not the professional guy, the hoodie guy. Has the most sense right now on the Democratic Party. We know, most of us already know, we lost the Democratic Party a long time ago. But this is not a right-wing media. This is not a right-wing YouTuber. We got Democrats, independent Republicans coming in here as American patriots trying to tell the truth. And right now, guess what? President Donald Trump deserves the props. If somebody, well, here's my, for Pete's sakes, I just gave you an example. Senator Fetterman is a Democrat. I respect the man because he's fighting for his country. He said it, country first, party second. Tell me that if I hate Democrats right now, I will ever say that. What have you guys said about President Donald Trump from all the stuff that he's done for us in the government, around the world, creating peace deals? I don't care how much you hate this guy. He's done more for the world than any president or presidents in history, more than NATO has ever done in their whole existence. I'm not a right-wing Republican, but they are correct, and I support that because this country means everything to me. This is the country that will be for my children and their children's children. I got to make sure that before I die, something good is left for my children. What the hell do you want for your children? Liberty for all, thanks for the super chat, bro. Sorry, I have to continue that before I lose my point. Dems and Rep need to modify the language on Snap. We can blend money like this. Stop giving EBT to people who take advantage of the system for a fool. To take the system for a fool, sorry. Absolutely. 100%. I don't want you to think, guys, that I know everything. Of course I don't know everything. I don't know every single subject out there. But what I do know is common sense is not something that you just... It's just so easy. Common sense. Forget about my hats from Make America Great. What's wrong with making America great again? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with supporting America? And I'm not even cussing at you guys. I'm just telling you the truth as I see it. For Pete's sakes, we see these people, what they're telling you. And then you see who's actually working. Who is doing something for this country? Not them. They come over and be like, oh, guys, yeah, the felon president is the only one working for the people. How about that? Do you think by now you should know that the felonies were fake? That he actually cares about this country? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about pardoning him? How about you pardon the president? How about you pardon him for those 32 felonies that you say he has? And say, you know what? You have done a lot more than anybody else in this world and this country's history. You should be pardoned. We're not going to hold that against you anymore. Thank you, Mr. President. We appreciate you. How about you do that? How about you do that? Call it like it is. Stop thinking Democrats, Republicans. Think patriots. America first. Oh, if America first, why are we helping Venezuela? Shit, because we're about to get $1 trillion from them. And the rights to minerals. Why we help Israel? We're about to we're making the Golden Dome right now because of Israel. All the money that we have given Israel during the last 70 years and plus, it ain't shit to what we should be giving them, to be honest. So knock it off. Seek some help. You need a hug, man. You guys really need a hug. Stop thinking with your emotions and start using your common sense. It's so simple. You want to be a Googler, or you want to think for yourself? Go look for Google, not to see what information is, but to remind yourself of what you saw, what you know, what you've seen. You think all these people that do blogs with millions of followers, you think they just sit on their ass and they just make up shit? No. They research. You think I sit over here and be like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep for a couple of days and then I'll make some shit up. Let's see what happens. No. It's annoying. It's drainful. It takes my energy away. It destroys your mind, but somebody has to do it. It's me against everybody that comes into this chat. And why do I get emotional and I say thank you for the people that support me? Because it drains the shit out of me. It drains me. And I know you don't like my language, but I pray to God that He gives me the strength. Because I can't do it. I can do it on my own. How do you sit here? Why don't you go ahead and make a channel? And let's all of us go ahead and bombard you with questions and comments and hateful comments and start insulting you. All because you care about this country's well-being. All because you care about this country being great again. We will always have problems. But if we stand together, that's what makes this country great. I think it's fair. I think it's fair to say. I show you guys a video of both sides of you. I show you the Republican side this morning. I show you the Democratic side this afternoon. And it's crazy. You know, Republicans say all we need is just 5 more Democrat votes and we will open the government right now. But Democrats don't want to open it because, as they say, they lose their leverage on President Donald Trump. And I'm going to tell you right now, the reason why Americans are suffering, the only reason why Americans are suffering right now is because they want to stick it to Donald Trump. That's it. There's nothing else. These people can't breathe. They can't sleep. Trump lives in their little brains 24/7. They cannot be happy. They cannot love. They cannot see anything past the hate of Donald Trump. And I can see a lot of these followers. They come through our channels. They come through all these patriots trying to speak truth, trying to put out facts with numbers. You watch it. You see it with your own eyes what he's doing. You hear the prime ministers from other countries, presidents from other countries, the Nobel Prize winner from Venezuela. You hear it from everybody. Even from migrants like myself that have come to this country the right way and have become American citizens. We support this country because we know what it stands for. We know the value of being in this country. And I'll be damned if I'm going to shut up and let some illegal immigrants and enemies that hate this country come over here and shit all over our cities and think that's okay. I don't think so. California is such a beautiful state and it looks like shit. How is that possible? So much money comes in through California. And yet, they got nothing to show for. We have made billions of dollars here in Washington, and we have nothing to show for, except for the remodeling of the pier in Seattle, downtown Seattle. Oh, yeah, that's right. Hundreds of farmers have gone out of business. But don't worry about that. We'll just blame Trump. It's easier that way. A lot of farmers are going out of business. Small business has been shut down because of crime. Oh, wait, this was before Trump, but we're going to hold on to news until Trump comes on. And now we're going to blame tariffs. That is the problem. The tariffs. Yeah, that's what's making small businesses shut down. Let's forget about the $9.5 billion in taxes that they just threw on top of the already high taxes here in Washington state. Let's forget about that. Let's just blame Donald Trump for tariffs. How about you give some of that money to farmers, to small businesses? How about you start doing some tax cuts for some of these businesses that need to have millions of dollars in order to continue to work effectively, to continue to have employees? How about you give them a break? All these idiots out here saying, oh, you want to give tax cuts and breaks to the rich? Yes. Why not? They're providing jobs. They're promising to stay here in America, build products here. Come on, man. I mean, I know it's only 111 people here. I know I only have, oh, no, never mind. Monkey's still here. Oh, Sad Bama's still here. Okay, we got 2 people that hate us for some reason. I don't know why. But, man, that's it. That's all the juice I had. I am drained. It's, you starting this at 6 in the morning, well, 5 something, and then at 8 p.m. you're still talking about it. It's very drainful. You believe me, even if I take all this break in between, I'm still researching. Man, I hope you guys appreciate it. Liberty, thank you so much for your support. Rush Babe just got on. Rush Babe is from Washington State as well. She knows what I'm talking about. Man, I tell you what, don't stop, guys. Don't stop coming into my channel and hating. We need to stay sharp. And I think that iron sharpens iron. I think that the leftist people, the socialists, the Democrats, they believe they're right. They really believe that they are right. And so do we. We believe that we are right as well. The difference is we have facts. We have things that actually show physically fruits of that labor, fruits of that commitment that was made and promises kept. Border shutdown. All Democrats say it's not possible. Can't do it. Need to pass this, pass that. Trump says shut it down. It got shut down. Just like that. And that's what they hate. See, they want to be in control. He thinks he's a king. Because they don't like what he's doing. That's why. And then, of course, all the rest of the loyalists, all of you who are fans of Robert De Niro, Robert De Niro. You know what? I gave him plenty of times of benefit of doubt because I love Robert De Niro movies. F him. Just F him. I don't care about Robert De Niro. I respect Arnold Schwarzenegger even more now. I didn't like him when he said, F your rights. Get the jab. That was wrong. He was wrong on that. But at least he's talking sense now. And you got to call it as you see it. Renee says, Obama, does that mean you're getting BS back? Good job, Renee. Good job. I like it. Derek in the house. We can't take our eye off the ball with all that needs to be done. 100%. Oh, Roberto Vasquez. Roberto, I think I saw you at the gym today. Either that or you're just that really well-known Mexican face. But I saw somebody that looked exactly like your picture, bro. And he was looking at me like really mean, so I thought it was you for a second. I must be mistaken. Let's see. Trainer says, hi, Jamie B. We're not all about democracy. Democracy is Canada, where the majority controls the rights and freedoms of the minority. We are a republic. Thank goodness. Man, got that right. Let's see, Jamie. What you got, Jamie? Let me read Jamie here real quick. How can we be happening? We have an idiot for near the office. I'm going to try not to insult you back, bro. This guy is just turned tones away on the whole. He's just obviously a knuckle jack. Americans, I don't know what the hell he's saying. I tried. Monkey says, let's talk Venezuela drug boats. Okay. All right. Just because Renee showed up late, I will give you something. Let's take a look. Roberto Vasquez playing golf. Oh. Well, if you are in Washington, my friend, I would love to go play some golf. But you got to give me a week. After all the golf balls that I hit yesterday on that video that I showed you guys, my back is killing me. Really bad. I am hella sore. I forgot that I had the muscles that are hurting right now. I didn't know that I was not using those muscles at all. So now I'm very tight. I'm in pain. Let's say, okay, Monkey Juice wants to talk about boats, drug boats, spy boats in the past, says Renee. Monkey, yes, they look cool, blowing up. Brian is having a good time with the fireworks on the boats. Let's see. Dennis is muting. You know what? I haven't muted anybody. As a matter of fact, when I mute somebody, everybody can see it. When I do it, I do that on purpose so people know. I haven't muted anybody yet. Roberto's just having fun. I appreciate that you can laugh, my friend. I love that. Thanks for being here, Roberto. You're the man. Brenda, good evening. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. James, go ahead and let it out. Let your full-on Christian hatred fill your soul and spit vitriol like you have physically. Whatever. I know you're not a Christian. It's okay. Jamie B. is from Venezuela. Oh, Jamie. What do you have to tell us about Venezuela? I will allow you to start the conversation, Jamie. Where is Jamie B? Jamie B, Jamie B, Jamie B, Jamie B. Jamie B, here we go. You're from Venezuela, Jamie? Let's take a look. Oh, I can't do that from there. I have to do it from here. Let's see. Jamie. All right, Jamie, what do you think about these boats exploding off the coast of Venezuela? Let me refresh my browser here real quick. What is it? You need something? No, I just texted you something, waiting for you. You text me something? Yeah. I thought you were done. Tomorrow. I don't think today. Because it's already too late. Okay? Thank you, sweetheart. You still got the money I gave you, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Oh, Cool Cat Renee has been quiet. It's been quiet all night. Let's see, Delusional Dennis. Thank you, Obama. I appreciate that you ignored the freaking facts that I just laid out for you with the video and everything you're seeing, evolving right in front of your damn eyes. If you take your eyes off the damn Google search and actually pay attention to what the hell is going around you, you will know a lot more than what you do with just Googling shit that other people tell you to look at so that you can convince yourself that you're right. All right, let's see. What's up? I want to hear about this boat from Venezuela. Jaime, where'd you go? Jamie, I guess, if you want me to call you Jamie, but I know it's Jaime. Cool Renee says, please tell your friends and loved ones. Time to join the Dennis Herrera show. Stop legal aliens from stealing our medical benefits. Cool Cat, am I reading that right? I don't know why when you advertise something, I feel like I have to read it that way. That's just the way it is. Okay, Roberto Vasquez says, I'm going to Venezuela to find a beautiful girlfriend. My friend, in Venezuela, you will find one because they have a lot of beautiful women there. But there's a lot of countries as well where they have beautiful women. Hopefully you have money so that you can support them. Let's see. Dice Goblin. Okay. Luis, that's not for me. Trinity, that's not for me. Derek, bang, bang, pow, pop is what I think about the Venezuela boats, says Derek. That's true American right there. Let's see. Liberty for All says, I have seen blacks using a EBT for food, and then they pull cash to pay for their addiction and I have eye whites as well. We need to stop lazy people. Thank you for the super chat, Liberty. Muchas gracias. Te lo agradezco, brother. I know you do it to help me, and I appreciate that. 100%. That's the one thing that I've been bitching and complaining about, people that depend on welfare. One of the stories that I know of is this girl. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe this. I was at a bar, and the conversation, blah, 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 blah. She says, I have 2 children. And I said, it's not a big deal. It's okay. I got children too. I've been known to get around here and there. But, we started talking. Everything is great. Hey, you look nice, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, we started, talking. And, well, here's how it goes. She gets child support. She gets, number one, she gets food stamps. She gets free medical. She doesn't pay for rent at all. At all. Not even $10. Everything free. And what does she do with the child support money? She goes to the bar. Most of the drinks, they get it from the guys. But look at this. You got 2 children. Child support. Welfare. Doesn't work. Just goes out and party. That's the people that you, on the left side, want to... Let me see. There's only 76 people, so they're all gone. But that's the kind of people that you support. That's the kind of people that you defend. Trinity said it best. Especially if you have children, you should be the one working the hardest than anybody else. That's a fact. But again, that's old school mentality. The people of today, they don't know shit. They've been indoctrinated of lassivity. That's my word. You guys are lazy. You guys are irresponsible. You guys can be in a place that looks like a rat hole, garbage everywhere, carpets so dirty that you can actually see an inch of dirt, like if you were out at the beach. You guys don't care about cleanliness. You don't care about order. You don't care about law. You don't care about respecting others. That's the way you live. Now, if you are that person, don't tell me. Just listen to it, and hopefully you prove me wrong. All right, Jamie says Trump is the greatest joke, and you can't see through that man. All right, Jamie, I gave you a chance. All right, let's see. What else you got? Okay, that's your opinion. That's okay. That means you're a fool. A fool of fools, and too bad you don't see it because Trump is playing you like a fiddle. Now, Jamie, are you from Venezuela, bro? Because I can tell you right now, everybody from Venezuela that I know, they are thanking President Donald Trump for what he's doing. So, what can I do with you about that? Your channel says Sad Bama says your channel is uneducated. Your patrons are uneducated. I'm blocking this garbage channel. Peace out, delusional Dennis. Man, we got on his nerves. I get it. What's crazy is, I gave him many chances, to be honest. I did give him some beautiful talk back. Oh man, it's sad when I see white people that look like that talk and think that way. I think maybe his wife is might be Latina in there somewhere. That's probably why he's defending all this crazy shit. Let's see what else we got here. My man says, "Oh shoot, the chat just moved. Sorry, buddy." I just lost a bunch of chats. My bad. Derek says, that is all true. 100%. I appreciate it. Be sure to double tap that screen, says Cool Cat. Appreciate that. Roberto is just laughing. I hope you'll find a beautiful senorita, housewife, smart, and is looking for a good man to provide for her, and that she will be faithful, and hopefully you get married, and may God bless that marriage. I wish you the best. Best of luck there, Roberto Vasquez. Let's see. James Craig says, do you think that... may the chat move up again. Hold on. Do you think that every single person has multiple kids requires us to pay for her food so she can have a night out and neglect their kids? Every single person got it. All right, James. I'm going to tell you a true story. I know I always tell stories about my personal life. I will tell you something. I was married before my wife, my current wife. I've been married for 14 years with my current wife, going on 15. I was married for 7 years to my first wife. Now, all I did was work. Go to work, home, work, home. Weekends, I spent with her and the kids. Every night, her and the kids. I stopped smoking. I stopped cursing. I changed my life. I was a nice guy. I used to be a bad boy, and I became a nice guy. I would say to my ex-wife there, and I said, hey, you know what? We need to get out. We need to go on a date. You know what I mean? Remember, like back in the day, we need to go on a date. We should find somebody to watch our kids. Oh no, she's like, Mikkel, the only thing that is acceptable for a divorce is a letter of divorce because of infidelity. Let me just leave it there and let me finish my damn story. All right. And so I always made the case, and I was like, hey, we have to find somebody to watch the kids so we can have a date. I'm married for 7 years. I get it. You know, things get boring. Okay, well, let's spice it up a little bit. And having sexual immorality is not one way of doing it, okay? That's just what I believe. And so she will always say, no, I don't want anybody watching my kids. Oh, no, I don't want to leave my kids with somebody. Okay. So we never did. And so every weekend, right, like in the weekends, Fridays, I will go and I will take them out to eat. I'll let the kids play around. And then on the weekends, I spend it with them at the barbecue, etc. Right? Everything is perfect. I thought everything, my life was peachy. Everything was awesome. Fantastic. Greatest time of my life. And then one night, I said, you know what? F it. I'm going to take a night off. I turned around before I got to work. I turned around, called my boss, and said, I'm sorry, I can't make it in today. I got home, walk in the door, and I see my wife fixing her hair on a mini skirt that I can see her butt cheeks hanging out. She looked like a whore. She looked like one of those workers on the street at a whorehouse or whatever you want to call it. She had somebody on the way to come and watch the kids while she was going to go out to a club with her supervisor from work. Ouch. Ouch. It was horrible. So, I know. Hey, we can't stop age, my friend. We're all going to get old. I might as well love my wrinkles. There's nothing I can do about it. Hey, who knows? Maybe there is some cream out there, but we ain't doing that right now. So you say that God hates divorce? Yeah, absolutely. But there's one way to give a divorce letter. And that was, yeah, there you go. That's that. So for all you morons out there that think that they know me, you don't. You don't know me. You don't know how much I suffer. And you know what? I don't have to say it, but I have to say it so that you know that you don't know me, okay? If you knew me, you would ask yourself why I am as good a person as I am today. If you know my life, if you experience my life, you will ask me why I care. I should be in jail right now. I should be a murderer. I should be a rapist. I should be a hateful person. I should be a criminal. I should be all those bad things. If you live through my life, you will know why. And you know the only reason why I didn't turn out to be those kind of people? Because I found God. You see, He's never hiding from me. I was running away from Him. And even though I knew Him through my whole life since I was a kid, I've been through church. But it was only a practice of a religion. It was never meant to be a relationship between me and God. And that's change. Now, if you think that when I get upset and passionate about what I'm talking about, you think that's anti-Christian, you need to remember what Jesus did when He went into the temple when they were disrespecting the house of the Lord. You see, be in anger with justice and righteousness, it is allowed. But if I was just upset because I got caught in a lie, just anger and bad anger. So Ask me again, why do I support President Donald Trump? Because in my life I've been backstabbed, double-crossed, cheated on, walked on like a doormat. I learned my lesson, trust me. And nobody's going to walk over me ever again. Nobody's going to hurt me like I've been hurt ever again. But I will try my darnest to be as good as a person as I can be. And that's why I say next year I'm putting my name on that ballot. All my patriots know what that means. And, well, let's hope for the best. God bless America. Guys, you guys have been great. I do want to close out with a prayer. Helps my soul. I hope that you guys join me. If you don't believe in God, that's okay. You can leave. But those of you that will, keep me company, I appreciate it. Father, we thank you for today, Lord. We thank you for the chance that we got to have another breath of life. We thank you that you give us the wisdom. Thank you, Father, for calming my nerves. Thank you, Father, for not allowing me to become those things, those horrendous things that many people fall into. Father, I believe in you. I believe that you are the Almighty. You are the Creator. You are my God. You are the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Father, I thank you for looking out after every single one of us. And I thank you that I was able to find you in time to be able to make a change in my life. That I got a chance to be saved. I thank you, Father, for your sacrifice. For giving us your only begotten Son to prove to us how much you love us, as you have proven to us over and over and over again. I recognize that we are all going to hell. But I also recognize that Jesus Christ died on that cross for me and everybody that will reach out for him. Father, please forgive me of my sins. Please forgive my trespasses as I forgive those who trespass against me. Thank you for your words. Thank you for our daily bread. Thank you for keeping us from temptation. Thank you for giving us the will to continue to fight the good fight. Father, please forgive me if I get too excited, if I get too passionate, if I hurt people's feelings. Father, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. If I bring the wrong message to people, please forgive me and help me to change that. I can't control many things on this life. So many moments of anxiety, stress, overload, depression. I hate depression. Father, I ask your Holy Spirit to be with us. I believe and I accept that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. Only you are holy, holy, holy. And I can claim that because the Holy Spirit is with us. I thank you for that love, for that counsel, the comfort. Thank you for peace. Father, I pray that your Holy Spirit be upon Israel. Bless them, prosper them, strengthen them, rebuild what they've lost, and also help the Palestinian people finally find peace. Hamas is evil and needs to be eradicated. But Father, we leave that in your hands. I pray for our president, Donald J. Trump, and his family. Father, they have made many mistakes, as many of us in our life. But I pray with many of my brothers and sisters, with a lot of patriots and anybody else that watches this channel and joins me in prayer. Your word said, where 2 or 3 in your name we gather, you will be there. And today we pray for our president. Give him strength. Allow him to live longer. Use him as you will, Lord. We believe in you and we will support him because we believe in you. Father, I pray for the administration. I pray for all the people in the United States of America. Let your Holy Spirit be upon the United States of America. Let all the righteous people and those who are seeking your presence, Lord, to find it. Teach us to have a good, close relationship with you and not just some pagan religion act of foolishness that is empty with no love. Father, thank you for your mercy. I pray that you have mercy and show grace to those who are in the world suffering today, those who are going through hunger, hard times. Please take care of them. Allow those who are able, touch their heart so that they can bless others that need help, Lord. Father, yours is all the glory, all the power, and all the might. And me and my family will serve you, Lord. And my heart and my soul praise you. In the name of Jesus Christ. If you pray that with me, man, God bless you. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm going to tell you something. I feel peace. There is things that I cannot change. I understand that. But we got to continue to keep our passion up. We need to continue to keep fighting for the truth. I thank you so much, every single one of you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Sixto, you came in for the end. Man, God bless you, man. Let me see. I'm going to read a couple of comments before I leave here. Let's see. Kenneth, Jesus rebuked the rich oligarchs. Oh, jeez. Sure. I'm with that. Okay. Liberty for All says, God works on mysterious ways. And look at you now. It may feel like a defeat, but is a teaching from above. Bless your life and those closest to you. Liberty, I'll take that. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for those words. Derek, thank you for the love, bro. I mean it. Jose, thank you. God bless America. Yes, sir. 6-2, man, you came in at the last minute, but man, God bless you, brother. I'm glad you were able to at least join us for the last prayer. I know, guys, that we're still gonna be we're still gonna be hated for speaking the truth that we know. But we got to continue, man. And I hope that, that what I'm feeling in my heart to put my name on the ballot for next year, I hope that's God's will. If it is, we're going to be triumphant. We'll be victorious. But if it's just my feelings, nothing's going to happen. But let it be God's will. Guys, I love you all so much. I really feel the love. Thank you. Especially my sister Trinity. You have been a blessing. You already know. I told you before. I mean it. Brush Babe, it's always good to see you. My wife asked for you, believe it or not, because she knows that you're here from Washington. Maybe when I go down to Eastern Washington, maybe I'll take her with me, and that way you get to meet her. And I really want to talk about these farmers. I want to talk about what's going on in Eastern Washington. I think you'll probably have the scoop on what's going on over there. I want to take notes. I want to be able to record if I can. And let's do something to change this. I don't know, guys. I might have to cut my hair next year, or when I'm running for campaigning. I don't know. Maybe I'll just braid it every day. My wife is very good at braiding my hair. But I look forward to getting into suits. I love suits. If there is something that I love about dressing, styles, or whatever, I can tell you, many people hate suits. I love suits. What I do, I don't get to wear suits. I have like one jacket left, I think. All my suits are destroyed. But one day I'm going to start getting some suits again, and hopefully I'll be fit to make it look good. Guys, if you've been with me this long, thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate you. We'll see what happens. Something new is happening. We're still waiting for the South Korea deal. We're waiting for the Chinese deal. I have a feeling that President Xi is going to do something. I hope it's good, but I have a feeling that he will. Take hate like ammo. Bam, 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 baby. You know it. We keep pushing forward, Liberty. Thank you, brother. Love you. Thanks for your support. Adam says, Dennis, a while ago you said Gulf of Mexico means armpit. The Gulf. Yes, I did the Gulf of Mexico, but the word Gulf in Spanish means armpit. Let me see. I thought armpit was sobaco. Sobaco and seno. Wait, am I confusing? Wait a minute. Oh, shoot. All this time, bro. Let me see. Seno. I could have swore that's what seno was. Oh, man, Adam. Oh, my gosh, dude. If you're right. You're right. Oh, okay, so it's a lot better than I thought. Oh, you got me, bro. All right, I'm sorry. I think I can say this on the show. Gulf, it means breast, not armpit. Not my bad. I thought it was weird, but you know, whatever. So it means it means breast. Gulf is the breast of Mexico, I guess. But well, that's neither here or there. But Adam, you take the prize today, my friend. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. You all be blessed. Stay safe and be good to each other, will you? Don't let anybody tell you that you're nobody. You can make a difference in our world. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for your love and for your support. Until next time, you have a good night. Be blessed. Peace.